Hey everyone, welcome to Jim Talks. Tonight I want to talk a bit about the different type of advertising and what's cost the most. A lot of people think that running paid advertising, that is Google AdWords or Facebook ads, it's expensive. Well, when you look at the cost overall, it's actually quite cheap. A lot of the other activities seem that they're cheaper or that they're not as expensive, but in fact they are a lot more, they do cost a lot more. So take, for example, Google SEO or search engine optimization. It looks like it's cheap because you're writing articles, but what happens is if first of all, it's going to take a long time, right? SEO done properly requires you to write a lot of medium to long form blog posts, and that could be anywhere from 500 to 1,000 words over a long period of time, and that could be anywhere from 6 to 9 months. Studies show that for Google to be able to start traversing your pages to the point where it starts giving you a higher ranking or a good ranking, it takes quite a while. So I'm not saying you shouldn't be doing SEO. In fact, SEO should be part of your long-term strategy, but it does take a long time and it is expensive. And now you can hire somebody to do that, which will make it even more expensive, which you should do anyway. So don't think of SEO as you're out there writing articles and you think that you're going to do that for a year and then eventually traffic's going to come to you. Now, mind you can do that while you're working on some of your other strategies, right? And the other strategies you should be focusing on are very short-term strategies. And the short-term strategies I talk about are paid advertising. So paid advertising such as Google AdWords, and of course running paid social ads. So specifically Facebook ads. The nice thing about these things is not only are they're immediate in the sense that they can give you leads right away, but you can also play with these things. You can look at them, you can study them, and you can make changes on the fly. So for example, you can set up an AdWords campaign and you can set up a Facebook campaign, and what you can do is you can monitor it over a couple of days and see how it's performing. And by monitoring, I mean you want to look at the results you're getting. You want to look at who's converting. And there's a number of things you can do, a number of variables you can set up. And the nice thing about these things, these short-term campaigns, is you can run them pretty cheap, right? So, for example, what I would recommend initially is running a campaign and maybe having and running some A/B split, meaning you can have 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 variations. What I would do specifically on a Facebook campaign, and I just set one up, is I would set up a campaign with a specific goal in mind and with a specific lead magnet. For example, I have a video out there that shows realtors how to get leads in 24 hours. And what I did is I set up 4 different ads with 4 different the content in the ad, the copy in the ad was basically the same. But what I did is I went out and found 4 different I created 4 different images. So these ads are going to appear at the same time, but they're going to be delivered to different people within my audience. And I've set up an audience where I can target realtors specifically. And the way you do that in Facebook, it's very easy. You just specify their job title. So anybody with the title realtor, anybody in the area that I'm targeting, right? So then what I do is I run these ads, and it's like I said, I'll run $5 a day, so times the 4 ads, so I'll $20 a day. Run those over a couple of days. I spend $40, $60, $80, maybe $100, and what I've got a very good feel for if these ads are going to work or not. And if they don't, or if one of them works better than the other, then what I'll do is I'll play around with the images again, or I'll play around with the copy. But usually within 3 to 4 weeks, you should have a very good idea of an ad that you can run that will convert, that will actually bring you in leads, and that will start generating you money from your sales. Whereas SEO, first of all, you're not sure if you've got the right content. SEO really does, there is quite a trick to SEO in the sense that you have to have the keywords, you have to have the articles that you're writing optimized properly for those keywords. So SEO is probably, I would say SEO is probably the most expensive thing you can do to generate leads, just because it takes the longest and you don't know what's happening over the long term. But if you do it right and if it kicks in properly over the, after 6 to 9 months, it definitely will generate a lot of leads for you. And ultimately, you could turn off the paid advertising, although that I think that goes after a different market, so I wouldn't recommend turning that off. So ideally, you want to have short-term leads with your paid traffic, your Facebook ads, and your Google AdWords, and you want to have long-term traffic with your SEO. Okay, so that's my gym talk for tonight. Thanks, everyone, and good night.